Come to me. Hey, crawl to me. Crawl. Step back.
You ever seen a canine used as a weapon against an unarmed driver? Imagine witnessing multiple officers transform a simple traffic stop into a vicious attack. In today's Audit Archive, officers recklessly unleashed a police dog on a frightened man who was merely hesitating to exit his vehicle. This shocking abuse of power will make your blood boil. Our first case of the day involves an incident where a man was brutally assaulted and bitten by a canine police dog. On May 18, 2023, in Jacksonville, Florida, 33-year-old Joseph Bratcher was in a gray Mazda sedan when, according to a police report, a JSO officer on his way to the shooting scene accused him of dangerously speeding toward him, which became the impetus for a traffic stop. The following footage showcases what occurred next.
Possibly in a black sedan.
39, what we do one update?
We're doing a felony takedown. We got 3 units 1097. Looks like 1 Bravo Mike driver. Listen to him! Listen to him!
Even if he was speeding towards them, pointing their firearms at him was no way to handle the situation. Without any confirmation whatsoever that he was a suspect in the alleged shooting scene or not, the officers prematurely pointed lethal weapons at him and forced Mr. Bratcher out of his vehicle. While some may argue that the circumstances allowed this, it doesn't mean that they can escalate the situation through the use of guns.
Do what he says. Listen to him. You'll be fine if you listen to what he says.
I'm scared. You got your pussy on. I can't see. I'm a mental patient. I have PTSD.
39, Canine, we're on MLK, going to be coming up Canal as long as we're not coming into the crossfire.
10-4, you'll be fine to come in from MLK.
I'm scared, man. Please, y'all need to call somebody, man.
26. And Canal, just north of MLK, come to my vehicle, will not be in the crossfire.
I am scared.
We got 1 Bravo Mike in the vehicle at least. He's refusing to get out of the vehicle right now.
You want to put a dog on me because I did nothing wrong. Hey, call your mama and them, man. They got police right here. They put a dog on me and everything, man. You heard me? Hey, man, call everybody. They put the dog on me. I'm on 26. And Canal, bro. They put me up. They got the guns on me and everything.
And on at 20 on 97 on 26 Canal.
They screaming. I got one dude screaming at me.
Not 16 clear traffic.
Call everybody. I'm not getting off the freeway. I'm not getting off the phone.
You will get dog bit if you don't get out of the car.
I'm on 26.
Normal traffic C, attack line, normal traffic C, attack line situation.
I don't know what he's doing. This dude like he's finna shoot, bro. I ain't even nothing wrong. I'm sitting in my car.
November 355, we're 77, but we need additional units on this.
I'm scared. I know my rights. You tell me to get up my car. You tell me to get up my car. I know my rights. Huh? Yeah, bro, but I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did.
666 tonight, sir.
I stopped.
Even though it was obvious that the man was fearing for his life, The officers refused to lower their weapons. Consequently, this spoke to how the officers failed to handle this situation properly, since if they merely put away their firearms, the man would have at least come out a lot more quickly, even with all the police officers present. Instead, in true police fashion, they were poised and ready to shoot the innocent civilian at a moment's notice.
I'm sick, bro. They got a dog and everything, bro. Bro, I'm
Listen to me. Listen to me. Quit talking. Quit talking. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around and face away from us. Turn around and face away from us and walk to my voice. Turn around. Walk backwards to my voice. Just walk backwards. Listen, bro. If you don't walk backwards, you're going to get dogged. I'm telling you what's about to happen. Walk backwards to my voice now. I'm telling you now. Walk backwards to me or you're going to get dog bit tonight. I'm telling you what's going to happen.
Hey,
Come over here, man. He's not complying. Man.
I'm ready to die, man.
Look, listen now.
Still get a response that has a Sheffield, Charles, and Early, please.
Dude.
I'm ready to die, man. Don't bite me, God. I'm like,
Get on the ground. Come to me. Get on the ground. Hey, crawl to me. Crawl to me now. Bring me the dog. Bring me the dog. Bring me the dog now. Bring me the dog, pal. I'm
For you, we're also getting another 18 at 1980 Erline Drive, November 7. Is that where you are?
From what I can tell, the car is empty.
Hold on, this associate with calls for calling JFRD to get them over in that area as well.
Once again, rather than deal with this professionally, the officers sicked their dog at the man and had it assault Mr. Bratcher. Even when injured and on the ground, the officer was still barking orders at the civilian and demanding that he crawl to him. This injustice was truly despicable, especially considering that these law enforcers violated the canine use of force policy, which states that a canine apprehension is a justifiable and lawful use of force only if the threat to officers and/or the public is significant. Seeing how their threat was a mere scared and frightened civilian, these officers no doubt disregarded this policy.
Ready?
Hold on. Passenger inside the vehicle, step out now. Passenger inside the vehicle, step out now. Ready, Ashley?
Hey, get rescued around. I got it.
Canine 16, start rescue for 19.
This side's cool.
10-4.
Hey, you ready? Hey, up here.
Watch the trunk.
Delusional as always, these officers immediately tensed up as soon as they thought to have seen a passenger in the vehicle, much like how they thought this civilian was anything but innocent. Just like both, however, there was nothing. Despite this, the officers further violated the man's fourth constitutional rights by conducting an unlawful search of his vehicle. In the meantime, other officers began medically treating Mr. Bratcher until EMS arrived.
JFRD's here. Something high up. I think she's blood. Yeah, I think she's blood up there.
Six, head back to the left, victim with Sheffield.
Are you the FA street location or the second scene?
I'm at the location.
The 18. Early in it.
So, rescue pulling them out.
Have you been shot? Wake up, buddy. Hey, have you been shot? They need to go to the scene. They need to go to the scene.
The scene's worse off.
638.
Do you guys already have units down the road? They're more urgent, but we have a dog bite here. But, yeah.
Tell him to say he's not responsive right now.
Thankfully, a short while later, EMS arrived at the scene and began working on treating the victim. Before they did so, though, the officers present gave an inaccurate summary of the events that transpired in true corrupt cop fashion.
Left the scene of the shooting down there was multiple victims. He didn't want to comply with us, and he's acting like a fool, so he got dogged in the arm. That's his only answer.
Number 247 on her line. Where am I needed?
Stand up, hop over here. He's back.
Units on both 18C. We're also getting an additional 18 at Charles and Burline. Advised to the fourth victim at the intersection. Shot at the back.
November 355, that's going to be the same on November 267 called in.
I guess so. He just didn't comply. Now he's gone into this catatonic state. Yeah. It's on his forearm. Yeah. Just watch him close. It's there. We'll figure out a way and we'll get your car to him. Call in the hospital. A few minutes, I'm like, I was riding in there. I'll see what. Yeah. Stay with them. We'll get somebody to him.
Once EMS loaded the victim into an ambulance, the case came to an end as all parties dispersed. The police ultimately charged Mr. Bratcher with reckless driving and resisting without violence, but the state's attorney's office dropped those charges months later. In the aftermath, the victim sued the officers, arguing that his constitutional rights were violated during a traffic stop. Although several developments took place, nothing definitive has been reached at the time of this recording. With such reckless behavior and a lack of following proper protocol, it's a wonder some people get to be police officers at all, much like the law enforcer in this next case, who on October 30th, 2023, in Broward County, Florida, was asked to help out in a situation regarding a civil dispute. How he did so, though, was disturbing to say the least.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Do you have somebody speak Spanish?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, listen, I'm going through a very tough situation. If you can help me.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, please.
Is this your wife?
She's my cousin. My blood cousin. She just came from Colombia. I'm just recording so her mom knows.
Hey, amiga. Can you get her to come out here for me?
Mami, que dice que vengas un momentico aquí. Dice que vengas
Mami, aquí.
Aquí, que salga un momentico, por favor. She has a breakdown. She has bipolar.
You back up and let me talk to her.
Okay.
Back up, talk to her.
You can do it in Spanish.
Yep, back up. Just back up. Sir, go that way. See where that visitor sign is? Please go over there. Please stand over there. If you want our help, that's fine. Go over there. It's that simple. I speak Spanish. That means give a translation.
Even though that was her blood relative, the caller, and the only one who could provide info as to what was happening, this officer quickly and nonchalantly brushed him off to the side. This lack of care and attention to resolve the situation properly shows just how little these officers wish to serve the community that pays for their everyday needs. In any case, he and the woman began conversing in Spanish.
Okay. Señora, ¿qué está pasando?
Mire, mi amor, me está dando muy duro, mi amor, ahí estoy. Mamá, aquí estoy, mami, estoy en una fiesta de disfraces, vuelvo, por favor, vuelva. Mira, aquí están mis piecitos, amor, mira ese dedito.
Okay, ¿cuál es su nombre, señora? ¿Cuál es su nombre?
¿Qué hora es?
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Primero me dice la hora.
La hora son las 10 de la mañana. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Natalia Andrea Granada Mejía. Devuelva.
¿Tiene pasaporte o algo? ¿O identificación tiene usted? Nada. Natalia, ¿verdad eso me dijo? ¿Cuál es su apellido? ¿Cuándo nació usted? ¿Qué fecha de nacimiento? ¿Ah? ¿Su fecha de nacimiento? ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
23 de noviembre del 88. Mire.
¿Pero qué le está pasando hoy?
Mire, me tenía que haber hecho las uñas. Y no me las hice. Y mire ya la hora que es. Y ustedes ya están aquí. Hey.
If he speaks English,
Vaya, no, eso ya no se hace.
Give me something.
She just came into
So
the
what?
country.
So did you?
I'm her sponsor.
So what? Okay, talk to me real quick.
Okay.
So what's your name? Who are you?
My name is Alexander Granada.
Okay.
I'm her sponsor and my mother. My mother is her godmother, and
Hang on. Let me get your first name. Alexander, you said?
Yes.
Alexander?
Yes.
Spell your last name.
Granada. Granada.
Give me her 43 as well, please. Okay. And what's her name?
Her name is Natalia Granada Mejia.
Natalia.
She's my cousin.
All right, hang on. Let me get all of her information. Natalia.
Natalia with H after the T.
After clearing up the seemingly difficult task of spelling a name, the officer finally got to more important questions that needed answering. In said line of questioning, it was revealed that the victim was mentally unwell, which required the officers to take the utmost care in handling her. Sadly, one of the two didn't seem to get the memo.
Please, if you can help me.
Hey, we're gonna help you, but
she has. I have all her paperwork.
Okay.
She has bipolar syndrome with
she's
schizophrenia.
diagnosed?
Yes, she's diagnosed. So she just
she's self-diagnosed, or
no. She's been diagnosed for years. She doesn't have her medication for already a few months. She came into the country on March, but she was held in ICE for almost 3 months. So this affected a lot her condition. And then she, came out, and she's been good all these 6 months. She's been all right. This is the first time I see her like this.
What's your date of birth?
5/30/1981. But please, I know she's like a little bit, distressed. But please, if you can help me without hurting her or anything like that.
All we're doing is just trying to get information so we can take her to get help.
I've been trying to bring her to the hospittal since last night.
You drove her here?
I came over here because my mom.
Did you drive her or she drive?
No. I brought her here. Yeah.
You did? Okay. You did okay.
I was able to lure her out of the house because my finger was cut last week. Mm-hmm. So then I came up with the idea, I have to go to the hospital. But it was a difficult situation for her to come with me to the hospital.
Yeah.
But all I know she needs the medication. But I have all her paperwork.
Okay.
She has, bipolar syndrome with the schizophrenia, this and that, whatever. And
Does she take medication?
She take medication in Colombia regularly.
She's something to fit me to bake her?
Yeah, she's schizophrenic, bipolar.
All right, so stay here so I go on the other side.
Yeah. She's schizophrenic, bipolar. She's not taking
I don't need the whole life.
Once again, after being presented with important information, the officer brushed it off as if it were something insignificant. Getting a glimpse at his character, it's no surprise to anyone, it's still horrifying what he did next.
Anita, vea, la lista de prioridades. Amor, vuelva,
¿Salga? ¿Va a salir bien o la tengo que jalar de carro? Y no quiero hacer eso. Está bien.
Ya, vuelva, mi amor, aquí está.
Deme otro brazo.
Que no me iba a hacer daño.
No le va a hacer daño. Se va a apretar duro ahí. Deme otro brazo.
Ya. Amor, ya. Mira las horas, mi amor. Ay, mi amor, Ya me hizo muy duro. Me hizo muy duro. Son las 9:05. Mami, vuelva, mi amor. Mi amor. Devuelve el celular, mi amor. Ay, no.
Step back. Step back.
Mami, vuelva, aquí estoy, mami.
With that disturbing crack, it's clear exactly what happened. Due to this officer's negligence and failure to properly handcuff someone, he mercilessly broke her arm in order to get the job done. Naturally, this inconsiderate action violated his department's use of force policy, since unnecessarily injuring her was completely avoidable.
Ya estoy aquí, yo no lo vuelvo a hacer, mi amor.
Pare.
Ya
Pare.
paré, mi amor.
Hey, it's okay.
Ya. Hágase el lado.
Roll over, amigo.
Ahora súbase para arriba.
Me dijiste que aquí solamente eran las 9:05 de la mañana. Mi amor, ya yo te iba a esperar, mi
¿Qué
amor.
drogas? ¿Que ha hecho drogas?
Estás doliendo. Mira ese
¿Qué
dedito.
medicina no ha tomado?
Mira ese dedito. Mami, yo no tengo. Ya volví.
Okay, hey, Canina, grab a wheelchair.
She's not gonna walk.
Mire la hora.
She just needs some medication.
Yeah,
I
but she's
have all the paperwork.
Mira el celular. Mira, ahí está el cargador.
First of all, seeing how she did nothing wrong, it was extremely questionable how the officer even justified handcuffing and detaining her to begin with, since it seamlessly violates her fourth constitutional rights. Regardless, after breaking her arm, they put her in a wheelchair and wheeled her off to a hospital. Even after getting surgery to repair her arm, she still faces continuous pain, anxiety, insomnia, an intense fear of all police officers, and potential long-term complications to this day. Although Miss Natalia was considering her legal options, there has still been no update regarding them. Many officers like him are completely unreasonable and difficult to deal with. Sadly though, there's no shortage of such people in power, and this next incident will show exactly that. On February 5th, 2025, in Deloge, Missouri, an auditor tried to see whether an officer or other government officials would stop him from merely holding up a sign and thus violate his constitutional rights. Sadly, that's exactly what would happen.
All right, guys, so I went inside of City Hall just to look around. I was not recording whatsoever, and the ladies in there said I couldn't stand out here with my sign that simply just says God bless the homeless, and I was letting her know that I was going to stand out here anyway, so hopefully they do respect that right, but you never know, guys, you never know.
A few minutes later, a cop showed up at the scene and was immediately under the impression that the man was begging for money. However, what he clearly failed to realize is that under certain conditions, holding up a sign is completely legal.
Huh?
What you got there?
What do you mean?
I mean, what are you doing? What you got there?
I'm homeless, huh?
Okay. Can't be out here begging for money, though.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because there's a city ordinance against it.
The Supreme Court's already ruled it's free speech.
No, it's
asking
not free
for
speech.
money is free speech.
We do have an ordinance, and you cannot. So
well, your ordinance is going. If your ordinance is going against the Constitution,
get cited, it's not. It's not.
I can ask people for money.
You're conducting a business out here.
I can ask people for money. You guys do it all the time.
You need a license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. It's free speech. Can I have some money, officer?
If you're going to keep doing it.
Could I have some money?
No.
Can I have $1?
Can I have your ID?
No.
Yes, I can.
Why?
Because I'm getting ready to take you to jail.
For what?
For not failing to ID when you just committed a crime.
You said you would cite me for it.
I will cite you,
yeah,
for it, but I got to take you down there.
Oh, I thought you had a book. I thought you had a book.
Give me your ID.
Oh, I don't have my ID on me.
Okay, what's your name?
Yeah, sure. And what's your name and badge?
Officer Radford. My DSN is 406.
All right, thank you.
You're on the sidewalk. You're doing okay
Yeah,
there.
protected free speech.
I can't do anything about that. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't. You need a permit from the city.
Think about what you're saying.
You need a permit from the city
for saying God bless the homeless.
It's already been upheld.
For saying God bless the homeless.
You just said you were asking for money.
To you. I just asked you for money.
No, you said you were asking for money.
No, I never said I did ask for money.
Do you want to keep doing this, or do you want to just...
I know what I'm doing out here. I have a right to stand out here and say God bless the homeless.
Yes,
I asked you for money, challenging your...
Because I asked you if that's what you were doing, and you said yes.
How am I asking people for money when they're driving by?
If you want to keep playing this game, we'll keep playing.
There's nothing about a game I'm playing right now. I'm out here engaged in constitutionally protected activity, saying God bless the homeless. You said some speech thing, some ordinance, city ordinance, about asking for money. The Supreme Court, they've already held upheld.
We've already had one go to the Supreme Court as well, and it was upheld. So
what did the guy say? Was he asking people for money?
Unable to answer the question, the officer made it clear that what the man was doing could be considered legal. People holding up a sign means that they're protected by the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and thus cannot be stopped. Furthermore, if the officer truly wished to know whether he was panhandling, it would have been much wiser to wait and see whether he was asking for money from civilians. Instead, however, he confronted him directly with no proper evidence or witness testimony.
Was the guy asking people for money?
You homeless. I told you that's not an issue. You're standing here on the sidewalk.
Yeah, but even if I were to ask people for money, that's not illegal.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
against
not.
our city ordinance.
Your city ordinance
has already been upheld.
It's unconstitutional.
I'm not gonna. I just said it's already been upheld.
By
the
what?
The Supreme Court has already.
By a guy standing on a sidewalk, and I highly doubt that.
I don't care what you highly doubt. I already know I can write it, and it's going to be upheld. Now, if you're asking for money, you're begging out here, I will get your ID and I will do what I need to do. If you're just standing there with your sign, great.
I might be saying God bless the homeless. I might be asking people for money. You never know. Okay. I'm not going to admit to it. Do you have any proof that I was asking people for money?
Other than you saying it a while ago.
I asked you for money.
No, when I walked up here, I asked you, and you said, yeah, I'm asking them.
No, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
No.
Yes. You got it on camera. Go back and listen.
Oh, I'll listen to it, but I definitely didn't say I've been asking people for money.
Listen, man, I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
Yeah,
I know what your amendment.
Yeah,
I know what your rights are. Okay?
Do you?
And that's good. I want you to do what's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? What
I still have the right to ask people for money.
No, you don't.
Then why do police officers and firefighters stand at the side of the street holding out a boot for people donation? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. No sense.
Yes, it does.
No, we have a right to stand out here and ask people any questions we want.
You cannot beg people for money on a corner in this city. Okay? We do have an ordinance against it.
I'm just letting you know it's going against the Constitution.
And I'm telling you, it's already been upheld too.
It might not have been this certain case.
As shown in the video, the officer indeed had no right to stop him from panhandling, since that would still be somewhat protected by the U.S. Constitution. In a similar case where a panhandler was cited 31 times for doing the exact same thing, he was awarded $150,000 after suing Missouri County. This not only meant that it was legal, but the officer could be on the receiving end of a similar lawsuit if he wasn't careful. Soon after, another, much more reasonable officer arrived on the scene, who was able to handle the situation.
Right now, he's not doing anything illegal. I don't have anything we can do with him, as long as he's not asking people for money.
Right, yeah, he's not soliciting, so he's fine.
Even though he wants to argue with me, okay, fine, but...
I'm going to solicit. I just solicited to you.
Well, what is it that you're soliciting?
I can ask any question I want. If I want to ask you for $1, I can ask you for $1.
Well, so,
freedom of speech.
Well, you had the freedom of speech, kind of what you're doing with the sign. But so under the low city ordinance...
Yeah, city ordinance is nothing, man. We take this higher than that.
Well, but...
Because your guys' city ordinance is unconstitutional.
Well, unfortunately, the state of Missouri allows cities to enforce ordinances.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like the Lowe's, they have a city ordinance for soliciting. If you're... Now here, you're on public property.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're soliciting on private property is
well, I'm not on private property.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. As long as I'm on a public sidewalk, public building, I could be in there inside of City Hall if I wanted to.
Well, within your rights.
Yeah, your city ordinance is unconstitutional because.
Well, and that's perfectly fine. You feel that way.
Yeah, it's not illegal to ask people for help.
Do you live around here?
Nah, I don't really get into that. You're trying to limit somebody's free speech.
You're soliciting for money, and typically, if I don't quote me verbatim,
right?
If I recall state statute correctly,
okay.
you're soliciting for money in transaction for an act.
Wait, like,
so if you're out here promising, I'll do X, Y, and Z.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that's a different ball game, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's like, it's almost like you could make that prostitution if you wanted, because you could be like, hey, if you give me money, I'll do this for you. Yeah, or
back
like, you know.
Since things weren't going well between the first officer and the auditor, the second took over the situation. The two began talking and laughing as they spoke, indicating a friendly conversation, something that the initial officer should take notes on how to do. Though it didn't seem like it was going to happen, the auditor posed a hypothetical scenario of what would happen if he was arrested for panhandling.
I guess
what is your guys' say he arrested me, took me to jail for, I guess, your solicitation. What would be, would I be booked? Would I be cited and released? How would that work?
Anything that's city related, it's a citation.
Okay. So basically you would just take me in there, do my identification, fingerprint, and then release?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be surprised if the other officer went that far with it.
Yeah. I mean, I did it right in front of him to challenge his thing, but I mean, I obviously wasn't doing it to people.
I mean, you know, trying to find the lowest level of you know, interaction.
Yeah.
As, you know, can we resolve this in some
I
way?
just wish little towns
to
yeah.
do, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm obviously not saying that to people.
Traveling, things like that.
Right.
What good does it do us to
have me sit there and
go through all that process,
right.
issue a citation for you to either potentially not come back,
yeah,
hire an attorney,
yeah,
to represent
oh,
you.
I already have, yeah,
You know
I already have them. We are prepared. We're usually prepared before we come out here and do these things.
There are those battles.
So, yeah,
you know,
I think it would be bad on your town.
Is it worth the battle for something so?
Even after all those statements, the other officer still came back with the city ordinance forbidding merely standing on the sidewalk holding up a sign without proper evidence of whether or not the man was actually panhandling or not.
See, I got in no hurry to be.
Yeah, I know. I asked the lady in there just to see what she would say. I asked her if I could stand out here with a sign, and she even said no, there's no solicitation. I didn't say a respond or anything to her because they automatically assume somebody's holding a sign, they're automatically asking for something, asking for money and stuff, so, which we're not, but.
And I already told you, you stand on the sidewalk.
I know, I just wish you guys didn't have that city ordinance. It's kind of violation of our First Amendment right of freedom of speech.
I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't necessarily, and I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Okay? But I wouldn't necessarily come at it like this. I would come down, go to Deloge city meetings, and say, hey.
Well, this is my first time here. This is my first process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the first step of everything, is coming out, exercising that right, and see how they go about it. If they don't go about it the appropriate way,
you look for the response.
Correct.
To know how to go.
Correct. There's some places I go to, the cops will just drive by and just see my sign and they'll just keep going. Right. There's other ones that'll come out here and saying, hey, you can't, we have reports that that you were asking for money and stuff like that. I never ask for money. I literally say God bless the homeless, and then if they have a problem with it, I turn it over and say that.
And they told me that, I'm like, hey, that is speech. So I can't do anything.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. But no, it's different everywhere I go, so that's why I come out here and I kind of challenge these ordinances and whatnot, and see if, you know, hey, if we can get that changed. Or
that's why earlier I asked if you were local, because
okay.
You know, that was kind of
no, I don't live here.
More than welcome to come to city meeting.
It should be noted that if that's the case, then all those other officers would equally be held accountable for violating the man's constitutional rights and protection to free speech. Regardless, despite his cries, the initial rude officer held up the document to his face and pointed out the details.
But here, this is what this isn't that one.
Okay.
This is the one they already had pre-printed for me. Okay.
Oh, about the case?
About offenses concerning public peace.
Yeah.
It has no,
okay.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was going to say, where they got this.
Is it for me?
No.
Oh, okay.
I say it's irrelevant.
Oh, okay.
You can have it if you want it, but it's irrelevant.
Okay.
But where they got this is on E-Code 360. So most of the time, any city around will have their ordinances listed on E-Code 360.
Okay.
So if you look up E-Code 360, what the section of Bismarck, Missouri, one has there's all people, normal citizens can't get into it.
Okay.
I don't know why, but most every other city around, you can look up their city ordinances on E-Code 360.
Okay.
So you can already see, you know, what's going on.
Yeah. Do as much as I can.
Until and unless, like you said, and I'm not a lawyer. Okay?
Right.
But I do know, here's state law. Okay. Here's county law, which can supersede state law. The county can make laws that supersede, with the exception of violating rights.
There you go. That was what I was going to say. Yep.
I know.
You're very well educated, seems like.
Ordinances can even go above that.
Right.
Okay, city ordinances.
Right.
They can supersede all those. They can't lessen, but they can supersede them.
Correct.
Again, as long as they're not violating rights.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, that's kind of where we're standing.
Yeah.
And if you and like I told you, some of our stuff has already been to.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Supreme Court,
yeah.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying that I already know it has been upheld.
Somebody just standing there?
You're correct. No, not there. They were.
No, like standing on a sidewalk?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'll have to look into that then.
Do that. Look up, I'm pretty sure it was, if you look up Delos City under civil court cases.
Civil court cases.
I mean, Supreme Court cases.
All right.
You'll probably find it.
Okay.
But I think it went all the way up to, up to Supreme.
You didn't know if it got thrown out or anything?
No, it didn't. They upheld it.
They upheld it?
Wherever it went.
On the contrary, it's highly unlikely that these were ever upheld. Not only does the previous aforementioned lawsuit testify to this, but there was also a First Amendment case against the city of Deloge, where the city wasn't allowed to enforce the ordinance that forbade people from passing leaflets on public sidewalks. Considering all this, it's highly likely that the officer was making things up as usual. After a while, the two left and the auditor went inside the building to confront the city manager who called the cops on him.
Hello. Are you the manager? City manager? All right. So did you call the police on me?
Yes.
Why?
Well, we have an ordinance against loitering, and when you came in and asked, we said there's no loitering. So I just called the police department because anytime I'm not sure of anything, then I call and they check into it.
Okay, yeah, because what I was doing is protected under the First Amendment, and you guys have a city ordinance against asking for people for money?
We have an ordinance against panhandling.
That's
and loitering.
Okay, I can understand loitering. Loitering is a whole different thing, but panhandling, like asking people for money, I feel like it's a charitable, charitable thing for goods. So it's protected under the First Amendment, free speech. So if somebody were to come to you and be like, hey, do you have $1? That's not illegal. Like there's a lot of cities that do have these ordinances, and so what I do is I go around and I test that ordinance, and I try to bring it up. So I'll come to like your town meetings and stuff like that, and I'll bring them up and say it's just unconstitutional. It's against our rights because
it's probably something that's been in effect.
It probably has.
Yep,
and nobody's questioned it.
It's never came up before. So there was no reason to look into it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It almost sucks because there's a lot of homeless today in the world we live in, and they're getting kicked out of certain places or like sidewalks and stuff, and they're all in like the central location, all grouped together, and I feel bad for those people. So
when even the city manager was chill with the panhandling issue, you know that one officer was beyond unreasonable when dealing with the auditor, which only makes one shudder how he behaves with actual homeless people. Thankfully, the man was able to get off scot-free, and the case came to a close. Unfortunately, the same couldn't be said for the victim of this next case. On February 2nd, 2025, in Brevard County, Florida, officers arrived at a residential household after getting multiple noise complaints. What they did after addressing this, however, was completely unnecessary.
How are you? Outstanding. All right. So we got a complaint about the music making too much noise. We listened to it from the 300-foot marker. It was plainly audible to us, so we're asking you to turn the music down. No, sir.
What's the decibel level?
There's no decibel level. It's plainly audible from 300 feet.
All right.
So we're asking you to turn the music down. Are you willing to do that?
As a matter of fact, no, I'm not willing to do, sir. I'm exercising my First Amendment right.
Okay, we're giving you a lawful order to turn the music down.
Okay. You give me a lawful order?
A lawful order to turn the music down.
Based on, hold on one second.
We've actually had,
okay.
We've actually had code enforcement come out here in regards to the same level recently, and we were well beneath the decibel level, and the ones that you guys have actually sent your case report saying that we are in violation, and code enforcement came back out here and said, no, we are not in violation.
Okay, so what is this?
You're stating you're going to give me a lawful order, and this is the information I'm going to give to you prior to you give me this lawful order. Here it is. This is a letter from Department of Veteran Affairs, right? And this is to address my service-related hearing loss, tinnitus. Okay? I have a service-related hearing loss, sir. Mm-hmm. I cannot hear as well as the average citizen. And when you basically implement this plainly audible standard, because I cannot hear, right? Plainly audible standard does not give me any type of parameters.
Seeing how other law enforcers and the department have given a written order to allow him to play his music, there should be no further discussion as to whether or not he was breaking the law or not. Despite all the evidence laid before him, the officer decided to do something stupid.
Whatsoever.
Okay.
What is plainly, and now, because I know that I have a service-related hearing loss, I basically go to the ordinance, okay? And this is 46-131, okay? In the Brevard County ordinance. And you guys are trying to, I'm sorry, you guys are going with 132. Now, 131 clearly states that in a residential area.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to get into all that with you.
But I just
so
want this
what I'm telling you is I'm giving you a lawful order to turn the music down. Are you going to turn the music down? Yes
No,
or no?
sir.
No? Okay.
No, sir.
Place your hands behind your back.
Hold on one second.
You can back up, please.
I'm recording you. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You can record.
Back up.
Okay.
Back up and record. You can back up. You record from there. Just back up.
I'm on my porch. Okay. I need your business cards first before you remove this gentleman. So you're arresting him for a violation that is not a criminal offense.
Hold on one second.
He didn't resist.
We did. We gave him a lawful order and he refused to do
He didn't resist any
Do you have anything
arrest.
in your pockets that you want to leave here?
No, but he does.
No.
Your phone. Give me your phone.
You want your phone to
He
stay
needs
here?
his wallet because he's not going to get in trouble for not having ID on him.
No. He's not going to get in
Well,
trouble
this
for
is
that.
a false arrest, so we've already had code enforcement come out. We've had him check because you guys
Is
submitted.
there anything in your pockets that you want to leave here?
Yeah, give me your glasses. Jay, give me your glasses.
Keep those with him if you'd like.
Would you like to keep them, Jay? So you're arresting him for a noise ordinance violation, which is not an arrestable offense. Resisting is... You were on private property.
Surprise, surprise. The ignorant cops not only punished him, but also detained and moved to arrest him. It should be noted that this so-called crime, even if punishable in this scenario, would only lead to a $114 fee. However, these officers violated the man's fourth constitutional rights by unlawfully arresting him without a warrant and for a non-criminal offense.
Do you have a warrant for his arrest? You are on private property, though. I'm just recording all the way to the vehicle, and I want your cards because I asked you for your cards prior to leaving. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, hold on, can I get your names before you guys all walk off? It's Drake,
We'll get it all. Our sergeant's on the way.
Fleming, and Adams.
Absolutely.
Before you get in the car, is there anything in your pockets or anything on your person that you want? Pocket knives?
No, sir.
All right.
And what sergeant is on his way?
Take it.
Oh, I'm just recording.
Step back.
I'm on my property. I'm not doing anything wrong. I promise.
You have to be 25 feet back while we're in the middle of conducting an arrest.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's a new law. It came into effect January.
I'm listening. I am.
Just take a step back and you're good. So
Can you finish telling me that?
Recording that, but yeah, you have to be 25 feet back. So go if you want to stand over there, you keep recording. It's not a big deal. Okay.
And what is he placed under arrest for exactly? It's resisting what?
Resisting in violation of the county ordinance.
So.
Alright, I'll get you my card.
I want all of the cards, please. Everyone's. Thank you. I'm sorry. But this is extremely stupid.
We've been dealing this for what, 4 or 5
Yeah, but we've never been in violation.
Apparently, every bit of logic the woman was speaking went over the officers' heads, since they didn't even hesitate for a moment as they arrested the poor soul. Unfortunately, not even her stating once again that this was already excused before did anything.
We even had you guys submitted, hold on 1 second. You submitted a report stating that you guys were going to take that report and send it to code enforcement, that it was going to be redirected. Before you requested all of the reports, all right, and before you requested Brevard County code enforcement reports, and they even said that we were not in violation with the music at the same level that it is.
I'm only going to tell you what happened today, which is we gave a lawful order to turn the music down because it was in violation of the ordinance. He refused to turn the music down, which is resisting. Which is a misdemeanor that happened in our presence. So
he showed you his document that he cannot hear properly. So we follow the county decibel levels.
Being in violation of county ordinance.
But we're not in violation because 60 decibels is still the order.
Plainly audible from 300 feet is now the new.
That is, it still does not go over the 60 decibels though. That is the first order. That is the first county ordinance that comes prior to.
Yeah, did I hear you call 1015?
Yeah, I need you guys' cards, please.
Ignorant in their ways, the officers brushed off the woman's warnings and details of the last time their department did this. As they were preparing to wrap things up and take off, however, the lady asked to speak to Mr. J one more time.
Can you roll down the window so I can talk to him for 2 seconds? I'm going to get my mom. Okay. And Mr. Hooper, and so I'm probably going to go to Jacksonville, and I will call the same bondsman. Do you know his name?
Oh gosh.
Or what bonds it was?
It's in
And you asked for a pre-trial release. That is what you ask for when you go to court. It is against the law if they do not give that to you.
Okay.
I'm letting you know.
Okay, but Caitlin, yeah, call me through, but my phone is in the
I'm about to go over there.
Alright.
I'm about to walk right over there.
Alright.
So, yeah, I want the license plate too. Sorry. And where are you guys taking him? To what? Where is it at? The same one off the US one? Okay. Thank you. You can't even hear it from here, and I'm 300 feet away. This is ridiculous. Can I get the case number too, as well? I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, the aftermath of this case is currently unknown as of the date of this recording. What is available, however, is footage of another idiotic officer citing someone for absolutely no reason. On September 20th, 2024 in Texas, a man was driving down the same road an officer was on. Before we get into what this Karen started complaining about, however, it's important to watch some footage for context. There's nothing to worry about if you can't find anything wrong. That's because there's nothing to point out. In what can be best described as a simple misunderstanding during an overtaking maneuver, the officer pulled over the civilian and got her out of her vehicle. Her reason? A laughable one.
Can you lower the back window? You don't have your registration sticker.
Huh?
You don't have your registration sticker. Turns out, but you can have your driver's license?
Sure, you can.
Is there a reason you were getting behind me like that?
Like what?
I was trying to let you pass.
Okay.
And you were slowing down and getting behind me because you knew I was moving over to get behind you.
Okay, so what's the issue?
Why were you getting behind me like that?
Why were you getting behind me
I
like
just told you because I was trying to pull you over.
You turned your emergency lights if you want to pull me over.
I had to check your registration sticker.
Okay, you pull
which
me
is
over.
Why I got
you want
in
to
front
pull
of
me
you
over,
first.
you pull
Which
me
is
over.
why I got in front of you first. Do you have your insurance?
Yeah. If you want to pull me over, just pull me over and that's it.
Is your driver's license up to date?
With the most baffling reason a person could possibly come up with, this sorry excuse of an officer pulled him over because he was behind her in his vehicle, like any other car driving on the road would be. Naturally, officers can only pull people over when they have reasonable suspicion or probable cause to do so, and we all know that this clearly didn't cut it.
Your address is still good? Sir.
You know what? I don't have the insurance. So you want to run the license plate? I don't have the insurance card on me. So you want to...
Do you have a picture of it?
No, I don't. Just run the license plate. I mean,
You're required to show your insurance.
Right, but you can run the license plate as well. I mean, you have to be reasonable. You don't want to be reasonable, just issue a citation and that's it.
Is there a reason you don't have the registration sticker?
No, I don't. I have a reason.
It's required to be on there.
Right, okay.
When you got your license plate, they didn't give you the sticker?
Probably, but I don't know where we left it. Just run the tag. It should be up to date.
That's not the point.
I understand your point. Just
I don't know why you're trying to give me a hard time.
Just you wanna cite me, and that's it.
You want a citation? I'll give you a citation.
It's your call.
You want a citation?
It's your call.
Okay, well then don't be giving me attitude for no reason.
I can give you.
I haven't given you attitude. I'm trying to talk to you good.
All right.
There's no reason for you to get like this. I just asked for your registration sticker.
I don't know where it is.
All right.
First, she pulls him over for an unlawful reason. Then she refuses to be considerate enough to simply search him up on the database. And finally, to top it all off, she tries to make the civilian guilty and portray him as the villain. Checking off all three boxes of a standard textbook Karen officer, she went back to her vehicle to issue him a citation. Somehow, though, she failed to even do that properly, as she got distracted by a mere phone call, wasting the driver's time and patience.
Hello? Yeah, I'm just writing up the warning. He was just giving attitude and recording. He didn't even want to lower the window all the way down. I didn't make a scene just because he has kids in the back, but... Where? Oh, the show. That one. Setting a great example for your kids. It's a warning, doesn't affect your record, okay?
And she herself sets a great example of what an officer shouldn't be like. A win-win situation for everyone. With both parties going their separate ways, the driver could only shake his head at what he just had to put up with. People shouldn't have to fear those who are supposed to protect them. Yet here, it was abundantly made clear that sometimes there's no other emotion to exhibit. Until real changes are made, better training, accountability, and consequences for misconduct, these incidents will keep happening. It's not about hating the police. It's about making sure they do their jobs the right way for everyone's safety. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter